Hello, today we are gonna build a surprise. You know what that is? It's a NASA keychain. We are gonna make a NASA keychain today, and I'm gonna show you how to design in Fusion 360 and as well learn few of the tools which makes things easier. And then maybe in future I'm gonna make a workshop on how I'm gonna print my 3D designed keychain. So I'm gonna show you a very personalized keychain, and I'm gonna give you a few more examples so that you can make a keychain of your own interest. So first I'm gonna click on create new sketch. So when you click on create new sketch, you can make a multiple sketches in single design. So you can all, when you collaborate them, it looks like a complete design. So that's how we are going to do. And initially I'm going to click on create sketch to make a base for my keychain. So I'm going to click on create sketch, and now it's going to ask me for a plane. So I'm going to click on this plane. So this is basically XY plane. So I'm going to use this one to design my base for the keychain. So in here I'm going to make maybe I'm choosing a square base. Okay, I'm clicking here a 2-point rectangle, and then let's say 5 centimeters, which is 50 mm. It's gonna be this big. So basically I'm gonna make this big keychain for my NASA keychain, or you can even make a small one depending on your interest. So I'm gonna make a bigger one. So it's basically, I'm just placing it on 50 and 50 again. So I made a square. So click on delete. Just come out of the design and click on delete so that you can get rid of that tool which you used before. So I'm gonna zoom it and using a pan tool to drag it for a better view. Now I'm gonna click on delete again to get rid of the tool. Now I'm gonna extrude. Like I don't want it a plain drawing. I need something to be like a base for my NASA keychain. So it's gonna be, I want it like little top, like extrusion, like a straight, like a 3D square. So I'm gonna make that one. Technically it's a cuboid. Okay, I'm gonna make a height of 1 or 2 mm depending upon your 3D printer, because when few 3D printers, like it comes like a very thin design when you put it 1 mm. So I would suggest, depending on your 3D printer and its efficiency, you can use 1 mm or 2 mm, or depending on whatever you want. So I'm gonna extrude and I'm gonna select on my thing, and then it's asking for extrusion. I'm gonna use 2 mm for this one and click enter. I'm gonna use an orbit tool to look at how this thing has come out. So now delete again, and then now I'm gonna use fillet. Fillet tool is basically for, you know, a bend and not a sharp edges. When you want to make your edges smooth, you can use a fillet tool. So it's basically important one, and if you don't have it, you can click on the modify, and you can pin your fillet tool maybe somewhere here, and then it shows up there. So I already pinned it up for me, so it's gonna show it for me here because I'm gonna use that the most. So I'm gonna use a fillet now. I want only my edges to be bent, not my whole body of the square. So what I'm gonna do is just select the edges of all 4 corners. So I'm gonna use my front view, and then I click on exactly the edges here. First we need to select all the edges and then select the dimension. That would be better. I'm selecting this edge, so it shows here that 3 edges are being selected already. And then I'm gonna look for my edges. Still says 3. What am I missing? Insane. I'm not able to find the other one. Yes, I think I got it. Yep, 4 edges have been selected now, and I'm gonna use 5 mm. It's gonna bend like a 5 mm straight, and it's gonna give a curve shape for us. So I'm gonna see how it came. Yep, this is what I wanted. So we got a cool square. Now what I'm gonna do is, for my keychain, I just need a small hole to put in my keyring and etc. So I'm gonna again click on the create sketch, and I'm selecting this face. So this is where this is the plane I'm working on. So I want to create a center diameter circle. I just don't want to put it exactly in between, so you can just put it in the corner or even here, doesn't matter, depending on wherever you want. I'm just gonna put it here, and I'm gonna choose, I'm making a 5 mm diameter, enter. Then I need to cut a hole for this circle, right? So I'm gonna click on extrude again, select this thing, and there are a few things which we need to change in the settings here. So one side is fine, we are doing it one side, and profile plane is selected, it's all fine. To the extent, to the object, we need to cut a complete cut in the object, so we are doing it to object, and then my operation is cutting it. So I'm gonna go over the bottom, selecting this plane, cut. Yep, it's cut now. I'm just gonna change my orientation again. Yep. Now again, I want to use a fillet tool to smoothen the edges here. I'm gonna use 1 mm. So when you just 3D print it, it won't be like a sharp, it's gonna be a little smooth. So I want a smoothness in the design when it's 3D printed. So again, I'm gonna use a fillet for the edges of my modified square, maybe 1 again. Yup, perfect. So my base is ready. Now I have to work on my NASA thingy, so I'm gonna go back. So what we're gonna do is we can import SVG files to our design. So what my SVG is gonna do is I want to convert PNG or JPEG to SVG, which will give me like an outline which I can paste it on top of this and extrude it. That is what I'm gonna do now, so that we don't have to design every penny of NASA. We can just go back to the browser, download a NASA logo, and then convert into SVG and then upload the file here. So what I'm gonna do is, I already have a NASA logo which is already downloaded. So I'm gonna show you what this website is. This is online converter which converts JPG or PNG or any image files to SVG file. So I'm gonna choose files here and then select on, you can use this NASA logos or unicorns or whatever you want depending on your interest. So I'm gonna click on NASA. I'm gonna change it to monochrome and start conversion. That's it. You don't have to again click on download now, because it's gonna already change your files here. It downloads automatically because the settings has been done in that way. So we can just go to our Fusion 360 again and click on insert here, and we have insert SVG. So I'm gonna click on this folder button here, and then it takes you to your computer, and I'm just searching for my NASA logo. Oh my goodness, where is it? It's NASA logo web RGB. Okay. NASA logo web RGB. Yeah, this is the one. I'm clicking on open and I'm selecting the place where I have to fix this logo. So the logo is pretty big. You need to kind of drag this one and then click on OK. Now we can change the orientation of our design. Yep, it's right here. So what I'm gonna do is I have to work on details because I have little stars over here, so I just need to have to work little detail. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna zoom as much as possible and then pan it to the center and maybe zoom a bit again and then pan it to the top. Yep. Now I'm gonna click on extrude again and choose on what I'm gonna extrude. First I am selecting all the possible things what I'm gonna extrude here. So I'm gonna click on this and I'm gonna click on the little stars over here. Be a little careful because see what happened is I just touched something else and the whole thing got stuck in there. So what I'm gonna do is just be careful while doing this. I'm gonna click on extrude again and careful with this. I know this is taking time, it's a matter of patience. Maybe we can just zoom in a little bit, maybe. Yep, and then maybe click on these. That's why guys, I just suggest when you're working with some detailed ones, I would suggest don't do it. Maybe if you have patience you could still do it. There are many other simple NASA logos like which says just NASA. I've did it before. This is my first time doing this logo because this has lots of details. I don't think this is a very great thing to start over because it needs a lot of patience to select the right thing. I'm panning it again to the top because I don't want this weird thing. Again the whole thing got selected now. I just don't want this to happen. No. Okay, let's start over again. Pan it down. Panning it down again. You can actually feel the difference when it shows you the whole thing in just one of the object visuals. It shows it highlighted actually, so that you can identify if it's showing the whole thing or just your object which you have chosen. I'm just gonna wait for the last one because I don't want this to mess up. Yep, finally. I'm gonna choose 1 mm extrusion and click on enter for this. I'm clicking on zoom out now because I want to see how this looks like. It looks like this. Yeah. Yes, it's done. I would say it's done. So you can see the extrusions on top here. If your 3D printer has an option, instead when I was using converter, when I used a converter, I used it as a grayscale. So in case if your printer has an option of printing in different colors, I think you can also choose a color converter, so it converts the right colors and you can put it here. So it's really cool, this NASA. I just want to show you my designs, like you can just see for them, maybe just in case. I'm gonna show you my previous designs, what I've did, so that maybe you can get an idea of. I made an Iron Man keychain before, and then this is the NASA ones with just the name. I'll show you a few of them. You can make a name tag keychain, you can import few stuff maybe and then do it depending on your patience. So this is an Iron Man keychain. Looks cool, right? I'll show you another version of NASA keychain. So basically I just choose a circular pattern and then I did it. So I've used it small, I just imported. I think you can also import more than 2 SVGs onto a same design. You could do that too. So I'll show you another ones. So instead of squares, rectangles and circles, I used a polygon. You can choose it when you create sketch, and then if you click on create, it'll show you basically polygons, subscribe, circumscribe, inscribe, like you can choose options. So when I click on create, it should be showing. Yep. This is a name tag keychain. Yep, you can add your names in it. Yes. And then finally I have my unicorn keychain. Come on, who doesn't love unicorns? It's loading. Yep, here you go. So what I did was I just converted my unicorn vector into SVG and then I uploaded like as I've shown you before. So this is it. You can make cool keychains if you have a 3D printer. If you don't, just wait for this lockdown to be done and then hopefully you can print it anywhere, maybe in your universities, maybe in your workplace, depending on where you work. Yep. So I'm just waiting for these things to be printed soon. I just want this lockdown to be done as soon as possible, because I know we all miss going out, we miss doing our things, and we miss doing our stuff. So stay tuned to my YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. More videos are coming soon. Stay safe, stay home.